LeBron fans like to disregard the fact that Jordan has by far the better resume. They will also say if LeBron played in the 90s, he would bully everyone and take advantage of the rules. Really? I love it when LeBron James fanboys make this delusional argument. Yes, if Fogo James played in the 90s, he would be able to use his size to back players down and steamroll through the lane and dunk aggressively. I find it fascinating that these delusional fanboys think that it's that simple. They say idiotic things like, LeBron is too big. He would destroy everyone in the 90s. They act like all the players would just stand there and take it. I find it odd to think that no one would play hard against them. Do they think the players from the 90s would just throw their hands up in the air and say, Jesus, take the wheel, and let LeBron body them game after game after game? I remember watching Michael Jordan take hard fouls over and over in the late 80s and early 90s, as that's the approach the league took when trying to shut him down. I remember Michael Jordan hit the floor multiple times. He took a beating trying to carry his team. Michael had a mindset that was as tough as diamonds, and no matter how hard teams played him, it didn't break him. He learned that he needed to get stronger than they were, so he could endure their punishment and turn it around on them. What is there to say about LeBron James' mindset? We should ask Jason Terry. It's no secret that LeBron James has melted down multiple times and arguably has a weak mind. By delusional fanboys' standards, if LeBron was the GOAT, he would have 8 to 10 titles by now. He doesn't, though. He didn't have the mental strength versus the Mavs. In his first finals appearance, he didn't have the strength to will his team to victory like the GOAT did in his first finals with the Bulls. When he had a super team in Miami, he didn't have the mental strength to will the Heat past the Spurs. And when facing a juggernaut, something LeBron never was able to create like the real GOAT did in Chicago, he won 1 out of 4 times he faced them, for a 25% win ratio versus the Golden State Warriors. These are just some of the many examples that we can look to when analyzing the mental strength of Fogo James. It's safe to say that his mind is weak and needs a Batman to carry the team for him like D-Wade did. Now, how do you think LeBron deals with getting hard fouled game after game after game? How many hard fouls before he suffers his first injury? The luxury that LeBron has by playing in the modern NBA is that his body doesn't have to go through the grueling seasons like players in the 80s and 90s did. As a result, he never really got hurt throughout his career, but that would change if he entered the league in the 80s and hit his prime in the 90s. I don't think LeBron could handle it mentally, let alone his body hold up to the physicality of the NBA in the 90s. I think that because LeBron played in the modern NBA and never had to experience what the NBA was like in the 80s and 90s, he was able to trick us into thinking he was a Batman. In the 90s, the grueling physicality of the game would expose LeBron. We would see that he is no more than a Robin disguised as Batman. What do you mean by that? I think that if LeBron entered the league in '84 and tried to use his size, he would be checked real fast. And due to his weak mindset, he would not be able to rise to the same level he has in the modern NBA. His team would look to find a Batman to pair him up with, because they would quickly realize that he's not that guy and would need someone to carry the load. Not to mention that playing in the 90s, the probability that he would endure more injuries than he has in the modern NBA is almost a certainty, which could derail his entire career and could potentially prevent him from ever accomplish anything in the league. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he would be a bust or would be just a role player. I think that due to the physicality of the game in the 90s, his body would deteriorate faster, and as a result, LeBron would play 15 or 16 years and leave a solid Hall of Fame career. Michael Jordan accomplished everything during this era and was able to accomplish 2 three-peats, earn a perfect finals record with 6 titles and 6 finals MVPs, as a cherry on top to a storybook career. That's why MJ is the GOAT, and one of the many reasons why LeBron will always be just Fogo James. I'll leave you guys there. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. In case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.